At it again, and we got to talk about the Breakfast Club and Lara Trump, because she recently went on to the Breakfast Club, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with. The Breakfast Club with Charlemagne. They had Larry Elder on there. They've had Byron Donalds. I think Byron Donalds was the most recent, and I made a video on that whole situation. But they recently had Lara Trump on there, and I want to show you guys a couple of her responses to, you know, their questions, and then we're going to get into a little something else at the end. So stick around. You're going to want to see that for sure. All right. But with that being said, as I always say, before I get into that, the first topic of discussion was what I showed you guys actually yesterday, I think it was. Remember I showed you guys that video of Donald Trump and Chuck Schumer at the Al Smith, fundraiser dinner, when Chuck Schumer and Donald Trump were just yakking it up, right? Just chit-chatting and jaw-jacking as if Trump isn't this threat to democracy as, you know, like that Chuck Schumer and all Democrats claim that he is. Well, that topic was brought up on the Breakfast Club, and here is Lara Trump's response. Let's dive in.
I mean, I think if you look back at Donald Trump's history, he last night we were at the Al Smith dinner, and he was right there next to Chuck Schumer, and he said to Chuck Schumer, who's obviously a Democrat senator, he said, I gave Chuck his first check ever when he was running for like assemblyman or something. So yeah, That's
why Chuck was laughing so hard. Remember we asked why Chuck was laughing so hard? Chuck was laughing, boy.
I don't be liking the optics of that. Only reason I say I don't like the optics of that is because when you hear people like Chuck Schumer say things like Trump is a threat to democracy, but then you're sitting next to him yucking it up. Why would you be yucking it up with somebody who you consider a threat to democracy?
Well, you have to ask yourself that question, don't you? Maybe it's all scare tactics. Maybe it's a lot of fear mongering. Charlemagne.
Not even maybe. It most definitely is, right? Because if Trump was really that bad of a person, you wouldn't be sitting there next to him chit-chatting and jaw-jacking. Like that just wouldn't happen, right? If he was really that bad of a person, as you say, this huge threat that's going to be locking up all of these Democrats and throwing out all of them in prison, although some of them definitely do deserve to be thrown in prison for the crimes that they have committed, you wouldn't be sitting next to him just chit-chatting and jaw-jacking as if it's a lifelong friend that you've always had, which we all know Chuck Schumer and Donald Trump used to be good friends. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump had brought that up at a previous Al Smith dinner. I think that was 2016. I think it was 2016 where he was like, yeah, I used to be friends with all of these guys. Chuck used to like me. And I think Chuck behind him mouthed, hey, come on back, right? Like, come back to the Democrat Party. Like, come on back. Right. So when they sit here and play these games of threat to democracy, it's not true. Not even by a long shot. It's fear tactics. It's the same thing that they do every 4 years. Vote or die. Right. Y'all remember Democrats came out with that slogan, vote or die. Now it's threat to democracy. Right. It's ridiculous. But let's continue.
What I can tell you is I know Donald Trump. I have known him for 16 years, and Chuck Schumer's known him a lot longer than I have. Mm-hmm. And I think he knows full well he's not a threat to democracy. And you don't even have to take my word for it. Look at what he did when he was in the White House. Like, there was never any threat to democracy when he was in the White House.
Well, there was an attempted coup of the country.
Well, that you can argue that a lot of different ways. Peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard is not an attempted coup. What was a coup was when they replaced Joe Biden with Kamala Harris, who was not elected by anyone to run for president. There are 14 million people who voted for Joe Biden to be the nominee for the Democrat Party. And if you want to talk about a real threat to democracy, I would argue that.
That wasn't a coup.
But Laura, did anyone die when that happened, though?
Well, no, not even that. Well, she was vice president. So
the only person who died was a woman who was there actually very supportive of Donald Trump on that day.
That's still a life loss. I'm just saying
it's terrible.
The comparison is a bit
We could go down the line of people dying in a lot of different circumstances, and I would argue that list could get very long for the Democrats.
And that's a fact. That is a fact. And I think I have a YouTube short that I'm going to drop on that topic. Probably today. So make sure you're watching my YouTube shorts. All right. Check them out. I drop a lot of them, actually. A whole lot. The next topic of discussion was Trump being racist, right? Because that's always a topic of discussion, right? They always try to pin Trump as like this horrible, terrible, no good, very bad person that hates all people of color. And check out Lara Trump's response.
To ask, a lot of people feel that Trump is racist. And what do you say to that? In 73, of course, it was when he got sued for not renting to African Americans. And 89, when he took out the ad in the paper. And even saying Obama wasn't born here and show his birth certificate. And there's numerous things. So what do you say to that?
Well, I think that's ridiculous. I've known this man for 16 years. And, you can go to each of those incidents and there was never any proof of anything with the houses that you're talking about.
He settled out for that, though, right?
Yeah, they settled that. And there was no admission of anything there. Central Park 5, there were so many people. You had a Democrat, DA who prosecuted the guys, and they admitted to it. There were a lot of people in New York
they were
at that time.
exonerated and freed, and there was never an apology, never sorry, never a my bad.
However, I will say that you have to look at somebody and what they actually have done. And Donald Trump really was very beneficial to the Black community when he was in the White House. I will say I've never seen this man say a racist thing. I think the attacks are fairly. Why is that funny, Charlamagne?
I'm just laughing. It's hysterical. But
no, Charlamagne,
because people act
listen.
like there's no such thing as Google, or we don't have TV, we don't have
what
radio.
is it that you think that he said?
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists.
This morning, a bitter backlash after President Trump referred to Haiti and African nations as S-hole countries during a meeting on immigration.
So to talk about that, because there was recently a situation with the whole Detroit thing, right? They always do that. But Trump is telling the truth. Detroit isn't what it once was. Is it improving? Sure. But all these folks who want to, oh no, Detroit's great. Okay, go live in Detroit. Every single one of y'all, go live in Detroit. For the people that said that Haiti was this fantastic place because Trump said it was a S-hole country, go live there. Go live there. Like, Charlamagne, go live there. You got the money, right? You can just pack up and go live there and do your Breakfast Club show remotely. You got the cash too, so go live there, right? This whole thing, because Trump said it. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna lose my mind. He's racist. And the whole, they aren't sending their best people. A lot of these folks, and it's been proven. We have the statistics. There was something, like 400,000 people that have come across their border that have been convicted of a crime. There was I forgot the exact numbers, but murderers, like people convicted of murder, people who were on trial for murder, like that just came across the border. Just here now. And then if you want to go even further, if you want to talk about the decrease in crime in a lot of these places, like why do you think crime has decreased south of the border in some of these different countries? You think people just automatically just randomly one day decided, you know what? I'm not going to be a criminal anymore. Do you think that just happened? Or maybe, just maybe they decided, well, since America's letting people in, why don't I just go to America? So maybe that's why crime could be dropping in some of these countries. Like, and this is the thing also, and I'm going to get into it later, but I want to touch on this right now. Like, you have these shows like The Breakfast Club that will ask these type of crazy questions, but will never hold the Democrats' feet to the fire. Ever. Not even once. Not even a little bit. But that's why, like, I don't understand how people in media don't see how their bias is actually destroying their own party. Their bias is absolutely destroying their own party. Democrats who are like Charlamagne, I think I heard Charlamagne claim he's not a Democrat. I mean, it's obvious and clear he's 1000% a Democrat, because when you have Lara Trump, when you have Larry Elder, when you have Byron Donalds, and you're trying to throw tough questions at them, but you sit in front of Kamala and you throw softballs and basically give her the answer in your questions. Like, come on now, it's obvious what's going on here, but you're destroying your own party by doing stuff like that because people see through the BS. They see the imbalance going on there. So you'd be better off giving the same treatment that you give to Trump to Kamala and Democrats. I'm not saying Trump is above criticism. Absolutely not. Hold his feet to the fire. Please do. You know, the figurative fire. I'm not saying literal fire, but y'all know the saying, right? But at the same way you do that to Trump, do it to Democrats too. And nobody would complain about anything. If Trump ended up stumbling over a bunch of questions, all right, so be it, Trump. You had your opportunity, brother. I'm backing you still, but you look pretty terrible, right? But it's easy to defend Trump because you don't hold anybody else's feet to the fire. You don't do the same thing to Kamala. You don't do the same thing to Democrats when they come on a show. So, like, you're destroying your own party. So, hey, trust in, and I know Charlemagne isn't mainstream media, but trust in mainstream media is at an all-time low. All-time low. I think the last statistic that I saw, 30% of Americans either have either believe or somewhat believe in mainstream media. 30%. That means 70% of Americans have zero belief in mainstream media. 70%, which is great for somebody like myself, right? More like, come on, more eyeballs coming this way. But still, like, it's just like, come on, man. Buy a toilet and a ruler and get your poop straight at some point. You know, it's just gotten ridiculous, man. But I also want to touch on another question that was brought up, and that was J6, which is always a topic of discussion when Trump comes up around Democrats. Check it out.
Why are you concerned about Donald Trump with the nuclear?
Did you see what he did January 6th?
What did he
He
do?
got a little bit upset.
What did he do on January?
He got a little bit upset and used his words.
What words did he say, though?
The words that you said earlier.
Peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
And then what happened after that?
So how were his words actually contributing to that?
Because I think that for me, him being able to just push a button, hypothetically speaking, it's a little bit scary because we've seen he gets a little bit erratic when he wants to.
Well, nothing happened for 4 years when he was in the White House. And
Facts. And I'm sorry to cut Lara Trump off, but like, it's this type of stuff that annoys me, bro. Like, oh my goodness, J6, but they just skip over the fact that he said peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. They just completely gloss over that. But what happened? And this is another thing. Like, people sit here and act like a bunch of folks running into a building all of a sudden qualifies as taking over a government. Well, we have nukes the size of buses. We have bombs the size of buses, but all of a sudden, if you run into a building and you take over this government building, you've automatically just taken over the American government. What though? What are we talking about? Like, it just sounds so dumb when you break it down. Yeah, you can run into a building, a government building, and that's how you just completely take over the American government. Yep, it's just that easy, right? Just that easy. When we have bombs the size of buses, bombs that will completely flatten an entire city. Like, what? That just doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense. Oh my goodness. Am I tweaking, y'all? Let me know if I'm tripping. Please, be honest with me, okay? I would rather you be honest than to lie to me and let me go down this rabbit hole of being delusional, okay? So let me know if I'm tripping, because you can't take over a government by running into a building and taking over some government building. Especially when you add on top of that the fact that we have bombs the size of buses. Like, it's just... Am I tripping, y'all? Let me know, please, because I'm so sick of the J6 narrative. Oh, my goodness. Especially when they gloss over the fact that he said peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. They just completely gloss over it. Y'all let me know if I'm tweaking. Please do. Please. Oh, man. You know what? Oh, my goodness. I know I've ranted quite a bit, so I'm gonna get straight to the meat and potatoes, because y'all know what I like to do, and I like to go to the comment section of videos. So here is the Breakfast Club's video. Some of the clips here you can see. Oh no, we ain't gonna play the ad, but y'all see it. Breakfast Club, Power 105, 5.6 million subscribers. Hey, by the way, hit that subscribe button if you are not subscribed. What are you waiting on? I'm trying to get to 5.6 too. I should be. Sheesh Louise. So let's take a look at the comment section. I hope the hosts read the comments. They look like clowns. She made these people look so stupid and they'll never realize it. Notice how she didn't have to blame Kamala every question. I think it serves best if the Breakfast Club just kept intelligent Republicans off their platform, because they just seem to get their behinds handed to them every single time. Dang, as much as you guys were getting cooked by Vivek, Byron, Larry Elder, and now Laura, I do have to respect y'all keeping the comments open. And that is a fact. They do keep the comments open, so I got to give them a little bit of credit, but my goodness. This is why the Breakfast Club is in decline. I can't believe I once in my life fell for this ridiculous propaganda displayed by the Breakfast Club. Honestly, imagine if Charlamagne was this tough on Kamala. That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said earlier. Give Kamala the same treatment that you give Republicans, bro, and she would crumble. But they know that, so that's why they don't do it. That's why they don't do it to Democrats at all, because Democrat policies don't stand up to scrutiny. They just don't. They don't. They sound good. They sound nice and fluffy and kind and loving. Oh, yeah, we're going to give you a bunch of handouts, blah, blah, blah. But when you actually start breaking it down and scrutinizing these things, they don't stand up to scrutiny. And that's why you don't see Democrats really go on any unfriendly, right, platforms. Trump will go anywhere. But Kamala went on Fox with Brett, of all people. No offense to Brett, but that's not the toughest guy on Fox that I would have picked. And she got completely ran out of the building. I mean, her team were like in the background, like wrap it up, in the background, like panicking, get her up out of here. And she showed up 15 minutes late and left early. So, like, come on, man, it's ridiculous. Let's see, where were we at? Laura making a strong point about Trump not starting any nuclear wars, but only tried to stop it and make peace all over the world. Those Trump clips are so out of context, but leave it to the Breakfast Club. Another L for the Breakfast Club. I love how the comments are all pro Laura. As a Mexican, I'd never speak for black people because I would never know the struggles they have. Charlamagne shouldn't speak for us and tell us how we should feel. As a Mexican American, I support Trump. You guys get the message. I mean, just she killed this. Respect to her. Let's keep scrolling. Stop right here. Charlamagne is clueless these days. Let's keep scrolling. Stop. Why don't they bring up how Trump got Lil Wayne and Kodak Black out of jail? Yep. Like, I mean, these comment sections, bro, are absolutely roasting these folks in all of these videos. Every single Kamala interview that she's done, and I'm showing you guys the comment section, right? Just like this. Every single video that she has been in, the like to dislike ratio. Matter of fact, let me check the like to dislike ratio on this one. Hold on, I got to do some scrolling real quick because we went pretty far down there. Yeah, look at this like to dislike ratio. Off of almost 200,000 views. Sheesh Louise. My goodness. But that's how every video is where, it's political and obviously slanted towards Democrats and it's not fair. That's how every video is. But you watch and you look at Trump's interviews and you look at the like to dislike ratio, and it's the complete opposite. It's millions, or not millions, but thousands of likes and just a few dislikes. The complete opposite with these types of videos. And the comments, man, woo, they're always good. That's why I always talk about the comment section with these types of videos. But as always, y'all let me know your thoughts and your opinions on this in the comment section below. Thanks for tuning in. Peace and love. I'm out.